how do we deal with the separation pain with someone who is very close to our heart? If someone dies, if my parents die, how do I take it?
Well, there's a couple of things to remember. If we're not thinking about it, it probably won't hurt us. It hurts us when we start thinking about it, when we start running the story of the loss. And usually the loss is of a projected future with that person. If we don't entertain the story, we don't go down that track. But most people do entertain the story and suffer a great deal of grief. When we move to total acceptance of what is, the story is over. And so the way out of grief is acceptance. But for a lot of people it's very hard to get to acceptance. They have to go through all these other stages first. But as a grief counsellor, I learned about the grief cycle, how it all worked, and started looking at life from the perspective of let's accept what is rather than actually disagree with what is. So instead of judging things as good or bad, I started I started seeing things as this is just what is. This is what's happening. And in that, everything disappears. It's only when we go to a story that we get caught. The story of right, the story of wrong. If we stay away from story, we can stay pretty free. Because acceptance will eventually come if someone dies. Why not make it sooner than later? So I teach acceptance. Well, 4 years ago I lost my son to cancer. He was only 21. And so that's such a tragedy to see such a young life die, disappear. But the thing is, everybody else is still alive. And so everybody is my son, and everybody is my daughter, and I treat them accordingly, because I love them.
Yeah, I have great people in my life.
Yeah. Also, I don't get into entertaining the story of loss, because it doesn't help anybody.
Yeah, it's not like
No, not at all. Quite often, grief can drive us to look for higher consciousness, because there's a recognition that this life is suffering, dukkha, or dissatisfying.